Okay, so the last step when you're at this stage is basically I come back with a tool. I make these marks a bit more predominant. Make sure there's no problems. Get this a bit darker. And when you do this, it's important not to pull into this and cut here, so you have to stop where you stop. So it does mark the next stone. Okay, so you scratch out all these lines, make them a little bit darker. And then the next step is I have a really piece of rough sandpaper, and then I come and I do this the first time, and then when I stain these, I'll do it again. So when this is stained with a brown color or whatever color you decide to use, you rub it out again, and then the white will come through again. And this is strong and hard as you could ever imagine. You cannot damage this stuff. And the nice thing is this white color will take the stain or the latex, whatever you decide to use, a lot better because it's a lighter color. Okay, so that area is ready for different colors of stain or paint. So that's it. Okay. Okay, I really like to put metal trim on the edges of something like this, especially in a busy doorway. So I'm cutting that metal trim. Here, we're putting 3-to-1 or 2-to-1, depending on what you like, cement and sand. So it's a very simple mix, no chemicals, no nothing. The only thing we do put inside it is polypropylene. So here basically on the wet cement we're throwing, on the wet cement we're throwing white cement, and then we're working it in with a trowel. And what happens with that is it knocks the gray down a bit and it makes a very smooth texture. Then you come back and you throw more white on top of that, and it looks so natural when you do that, especially when you're putting color on it. So here we're basically putting on a second coat. You can see it's very plasticky, very workable. And so cutting the lines into this material is very easy because there's no stones or no obstacles in the material itself. And here we're basically cutting the shapes, and never have real long lines in your shapes and your stones. Like, make sure they're staggered, and do that very smartly so it looks real. So here again we're putting white cement on areas that have been rubbed in, and if you look closely, you get a shiny surface on it, and a lot of stones in nature do have shiny surfaces, so that makes it really look real. And when the color goes on here, it's interesting because you have the gray coming through, you have the white absorbing the stain more.